The American state of Colorado has instituted additional legal protections for its transgender citizens. And by legal protections, of course, what we mean is you will say what we want you to say, on penalty of a $5,000 to $50,000 fine. Oh, and by the way, if you are in a custody battle or something like that, well, you are going to have to refer to the child in question by whatever pronouns it so chooses that particular afternoon, whether it wishes to be a Transformers, a space plane, a brick, a dress, or whatever else a 7-year-old child might decide at that point, or you might be refused visitation privileges. Ah yes, This all sounds like it makes a tremendous amount of sense, of course, and it is being framed rather weirdly, predictably, perhaps more correctly. Transgender Coloradans receive new discrimination protection, which isn't really what's happening here. They're not being protected from discrimination. Simply everybody else is being forced to call them what they desire to be called. This isn't a discrimination protection, this is an imbuement of noble privilege to be able to determine what the peasantry refer to you as. And it's also, of course, named legal protection for transgender individuals officially, because, you see, preceding this, transgender people had no legal rights at all in Colorado. They were wild creatures to be hunted, collected, and otherwise abused as anyone and everyone saw fit. No, of course not. That would be ridiculous, and everyone knows that would be ridiculous. What we mean here is not that they will receive legal protections. They already have legal protection. They possess all the same legal rights as anybody else. What we mean is, of course, they will receive additional legal protection, privileges befitting their class. As if the left has made anything painfully obvious this last decade or so, it is that equal rights was never the goal or the intent at any point whatsoever. The bill provides that when making child custody decisions and determining the best interest of a child for purposes of parenting time, a court shall consider deadnaming, misgendering, or threatening to publish material related to an individual's gender-affirming healthcare service. Help! My wife was attempting to mutilate my son. Father! That's a $50,000 fine right there. We call mutilation gender-affirming care in Colorado, I'll have you know, as types of coercive control. Ah, yes. Mother has decided that the child is a tea kettle today, and the father had better get on board with that or else. As for the other legal protections, deadnaming and misgendering are discriminatory acts, which will be referred to as protected under the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act, and prohibit these discriminatory acts in places of public accommodation. So, schools, for example. Yeah, I can't see how that could be possibly used to brainwash people or anything. No, not at all. As for what the Anti-Discrimination Act is, well, here is where we get to the fine. If you are found to be in violation of the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act, you may be given a statutory fine of $5,000 to be paid to the aggrieved party, with a cap of $50,000 per offense, mind you, of course. So you better, if you're gonna be deadnaming someone, well, make sure to only do it once at the very least. But if you renounce your heresy within a period of 30 days, or if you promise to renounce your heresy, you may be given 3 additional 30-day periods. So a total of 120 days to admit that yes, the Earth does indeed stand still in the galaxy as the sun spins around it. And if you do, they'll cut your fine in half. Wow, only $25,000. How remarkably generous of them, frankly. And they also mention here the chosen name, because you can select whatever name you want. The legal bill also makes it easier to change your name whenever you want, and also adds in a fair bit of leeway as to what your name can be, although there is still one caveat at least. A chosen name means a name that an individual requests to be known as in connection to the individual's disability, race, creed, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, marital status, familial status, national origin, and/or ancestry. I wish to be referred to by a name that refers to my disability. Hot Wheels? But, so long as the name does not contain offensive language, so no, you can sadly not rename yourself Sir Prickington the Prick and be expected to be referred to as such on official documents and by the police, and the individual is not requesting the name for frivolous purposes. Now, I would consider somebody that looks like this to rename themselves to Bob or Madeline, whatever, to be a frivolous purpose, but somehow I suspect that the Colorado government will not view it in quite the same way. This is of course a clause added in because they've seen plenty of people approach idiotic laws like this and go, I can obviously take the piss out of this, can't I? Yes, you can, and so they've added in this little caveat here. Now, what this of course all amounts to is very simple. It's speech control. It is thought control. This isn't legal protection. This is additional privileges. This is something that you get that imposes upon somebody else. Writing this down in the laws of Colorado doesn't naturally make it so that when you see a man wearing a dress, you're gonna go, "Hello, Leslie." It changes nothing like that. What it does do is give Leslie the special privilege to make you call him Leslie, or else the government will fine you $5,000 to $50,000. Additionally, in the case of the child's preferred chosen name, who the hell decides that exactly? Who gets to decide? Okay, the child is 7 years old. One day it wishes to be an aeroplane. The next it wants to be a cow. Fantastic. And especially when surrounded by adults going, you can be anything you want. So long as it's not frivolous, of course. Does the child decide it? That sounds like a very bad idea. Does the father decide it? Oh, you know the father does not decide it. So the only reasonable remaining option then is whoever pushes for the gender-affirming care, I guess. Who pushes for the actions to give the child a new chosen name. And then the opposition who goes, you're obviously abusing the child, please stop, will have to refer to it by the name given to it by its abuser. I see no problems with this. This is entirely normal. Entirely normal, completely so. The worst part is, this of course means that Jordan Peterson was completely right. Yeah, eventually, there will be laws put into place to force you to use their language, to use their verbiage, to use their preferred pronouns, to refer to them in a way that they themselves demand and decide. This is literally the privilege of the nobility. No. I am a sir. You are a peasant. You will refer to me with adequate respect, or I will bring down the legal apparatus on you. That is what this is. There's no other way around it. Again, this is not an additional legal protection. It is special privilege for a group of people that already have special privileges in society. And this isn't even America's first hate crime law. There's already a fair few state-level hate crime laws, but this is obviously going to be used both for that and also to make sure that everybody else is browbeat into following their agenda and to joining their cult in essence. It is the most obviously oppressive thing you can imagine to go, no, you will speak to this person in this way, or the government is going to come for you. Well, on the bright side, I guess, yeah, they might have the power to take your children. Definitely not overreach there or anything. But at least they can't jail you. They can only give you a $50,000 fine. Listen, America. You look at Britain today, and you laugh. I look at Britain today, and I laugh. But never forget, Britain ended up in this position for a reason, and sadly, none of us appear to be entirely resistant to it. Until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.